everybody, Chris here from the Off-Grid Skoolie and Tiny Home Tours YouTube channels. Today's video features Amanda. She did a DIY newer transit van. She's one of those people that just making it work on the road. She's getting different jobs on the road, different side hustles. She works for people remotely. She's a perfect example of someone that had a dream and went for it. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next week.
Hey guys, my name is Amanda. This is Crystal 2.0, and together we're Art Van Grow. Come on in. So when designing the kitchen, I wanted to have ample amount of counter space, deepest sink that I could go with. I wanted to make sure I could wash all my dishes in here, and I wanted to do the least amount of cabinetry as I could. So I went with two awkwardly shaped upper head cabinetry. I have tons of space. I need to work on an eyelet to keep them lifted, but there's tons of space in there. I didn't put walls or the ceiling behind to leave me more space. And I'm using all the cubbies back there from the original van design. And then I have safety child locks on these. Yep, I put little felts back here, so it like might bang and you'll get the, you won't really hear much of it, but it won't open. Nothing's fell out of those yet. And then under here I have two locks. And my garbage can pulls out, and I have so much storage under there. Eventually I'm gonna build another shelf. I got the van in September, and I've been living in it full time during the entire build and been working with different builders as I've hit the road and traveled. So it's totally a work in progress, but she's getting there. And I have a Costway fridge, which is only 1 amp hour to get it started up, and it is high efficiency. So I have more than enough solar to run it. With the kitchen right now, I just went with the plywood countertop. I'm planning on either putting a stain or poly. I'm gonna let it grow on me because I'm digging the light wood right now, but I don't know for sure yet. But it's awesome living in your build because now that the rest is painted, I can kind of decide, do I want to go darker? Do I want to keep it light? So I'm hoping once I leave these festivals, I'll be able to finish up that. I do plan to do a backsplash. I hadn't quite decided yet what. Originally I was going to do glass from Glass Beach in California, and I went during high tide. So there went that idea. So now I'm contemplating another backsplash for sure. Super easy painting everything in here. I wind up just going over these 3 times so far with the paint, and I buy a primer and a paint in one. So I go with Bear. I've been using Bear for years. The Silver Bullet is the color of this paint. I've used it in 5 apartments now, so this is now my forever home. I decided I should bring it in here, and it looks really awesome because it looks almost white, depending on which way the light hits it, but it's not bright white that I have to deal with it getting dirty all of the time. And I did go with a semi, so I could wipe everything off if it gets dirty, and I shouldn't have any problems with that. I have a mat that I just pull out, so do my dishes, let them dry on the mat, and then I dry them and put them away. The Bear plywood hasn't given me any problems yet. I just put out my dish mat, wash my dishes, put them right on it, and so far no problems. Couple little marks here and there, but I live in a van. I live in a moving vehicle. This stuff's gonna happen. So I decided to go with the divider wall between my driver's seat and the kitchen. One, it acted, I did not want water to splash out of my sink on the back of my chair. Also, I like the way that it looks closed and more homey. On the other side, which I'll show you guys in a bit, is my sticker wall. So that was well thought out. I knew that once this divider wall was going in, the other side was gonna be for stickers. This side was basically a splash guard for the sink that I didn't have to worry about. I just added this up the other day. I'm thinking I might add a wood piece here just to close it off, but I just went with a standard shower curtain rod, and I just clipped a tapestry that I got on one of my travels, and it's working pretty well. I'm going to sew a blackout curtain on the back of it, so it really keeps the heat in here, and then once I close this up, it should trap the heat, especially if I go with magnets. I can magnetize it. Yeah, and it's easy, it's quick. This corner was the airbags, and I did not know what to do with this corner. I've noticed in a lot of conversions, nobody knows what to do there. So I figured, curtain's there now, don't have to worry about it. And then up here, I have tons of storage that just came with the van. I could keep my hats up here, my atlas, my stickers, and my business cards. And then the front of this van has so much storage up here right now. We'll get to the front later in the video, but I want to show you where my stove's located at. So I decided to go with a Camp Chef stove oven combo, and I didn't want it to take up any space. It is underneath my bed. I love it. I have a really large range up here. I can fit any pot and pan, no problem. I can cook some really badass meals in my oven. I didn't think that I was going to survive without an oven. I think I use an oven too much. I bake too much fish, pork. So my camshaft oven is powered by propane, which is pretty awesome, leaving my van completely off grid with my solar and propane. That's all I need. And being so, I had moved it. Originally, the stove was here, like your standard van builds that come out in front of the door, but to me, it didn't make sense. It was just a stupid use of space. So I moved it over here, which is awesome because now I can chop here, cook here, utilize this space and cook here without moving from here over here. So that was really ideal for me to put this, and now it basically forms one unit of space and could go away, and I still have this whole space to put a seat or storage or something like that. So this is not as light as it looks, my stove. I have 300-pound drawer slides on most of my drawers, so this is pretty sturdy. This is not going anywhere at all. I could also close it and utilize it as more counter space if I chose to do that as well. So that's really awesome. I'm gonna just stows away, and I have space. So when I decided to move my stove over here, that kind of left the issue with the wheel well underneath. So I'm just using this space for extra jugs of water. I have some bathroom stuff under here. And then I have this storage bin, which has my extra blankets in it. I have an inflatable ottoman, so if I was to have another guest in here, I can have them sit in there as well. Some like night lights and stuff like that, so if I'm coming in the van real quick or want to grab something to go chill outside, I have that accessibility. Then over here, I have 3 drawers for storage. I am obsessed with mermaids and I'm obsessed with dinosaurs, so those are pretty critical. Took me 45 minutes to pick them out, but I'm really happy with them. I have my tea drawer / utensils. I have a buttload of tea in here, and then just some clothes. Then over here, I originally had a full-size closet in the back of the van from ceiling to floor about this wide, and my bed actually was here. And when I had met up with another friend who had helped me with the build, I completely changed the layout, which was awesome, but I don't have a closet anymore. So we built this giant, massive drawer, and we measured out all my clothes to make sure it fits, so that was critical. And these are also 300-pound drawer slides. And then down here, I have my toilet, and this cushion goes here. I can sit here. My snack table's outside, and I can sit here and I can open these doors and just draw and work on some art. So that was major for me. So I have the Petford Porta Potty toilet, where it works where there's a base at the bottom where you fill some water in, and then there's another compartment that gets some chemicals. When you use the restroom, it's awesome actually. It's kind of like using a real toilet. It almost feels real. You just open this lever, which opens the hole. You do what you gotta do. You pull this up and you push it down, and it actually flushes like a real toilet bowl, which is really cool. You shut this up, you close it. No smell, no problems. And when it's full, it has a lever on the side that goes from green to red, and it closes like a suitcase. You go for a walk, you go to a porta potty, campsite, anything like that, and you're able to just dump it, which is pretty neat. I have to change out the porta potty about every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how much I use it. So I also have a Go Girl. It was an awesome small investment I got off Amazon, and I just, like a boy, pee outside, pee in a jug if my toilet's full or I don't want to use it, and then just dispose of that. It's pretty awesome. So down here, I had mounted my control panel for my solar, which is really awesome. It shows me a smiley face. So right now, I am at 12, I lied. I am at 14 volts, which is drawing pretty good power right now. My switch for my inverter is right here. This is awesome. I did not have this in my first build. I just had my controller that I looked on and checked my solar. So having this up here is really awesome. I could give a quick gander. On top of my van, I have 270 watt panels. In the back of the van, I have a 3000 watt inverter and an MPPT controller. I have more than enough solar up there, and I have 2 AGM batteries, 12 volt in the back as well. So all of that comes up on here, gives me my total, all my information that I need is right here for me to check on my solar system throughout the day. So this area is a small work in progress. When I decided to completely change my layout, being that there's no wall here and the curvatures of the van, I kind of had to get creative. So I made this a couple years back for my jewelry. I thought that kind of distracted the area. And then the van comes with all storage like this throughout. So wherever there's not a wall, I have storage in here. I got all my DVDs in here, which is awesome because if not, I'd have to build something for it. So that worked out really well. I gave it a nice little paint so it blended in. And that's my questionable corner. So while I lived in here for 5 months while working on my build, as I had said earlier, I completely redid my layout, and when I did so, I got way more storage out of this situation. All of this is more than enough. As you can see, my top drawer still has room for clothes. I also have a bar in the back for hanging clothes, like my larger jackets. Definitely more space, and it opens up this area, whereas most people put a bench here and then you open it up and there's the refrigerator, and a bench here and you open it up and there's a toilet. I now have this area to do anything I want. I could have someone sleep in here. I can have yoga. I could do yoga in here, and just having everything stowed away, just for me, I like a spot for everything. So it keeps it really clean, concise. Everything has a spot and a home, and I have more than enough storage, even though I did not think I was going to without that closet, but this has been working really great for me. I absolutely love it. In order to have all of the storage that I do have, I had to put my bed really high, which I'm completely content with. I'm one of those people who do not love people in my space all the time, so having a tall bed means nobody could get on it. So I pull out my step stool, and I just hop on up. And I have more than enough headspace. As you can see, I clear the ceiling. I have a sunroof here, so I am able to watch the stars every night and watch the sunrise in the morning and be grateful for this life that I live. So I absolutely love my bed. It is by far probably one of the most comfortable mattresses that I have bought thus far. I got it off Amazon. It is a Tempur-Pedic with a cool gel lay on top. It works awesome, and it was really easy to cut. So if you guys notice, my bed is this way, which meant that I had to cut off 7 inches, but I'm short, so I can clear it. But if you're not as short as me, you can't really clear the bed. But putting it this direction allowed me to have all that space that you see in the front. So that was critical to me. I sleep a couple hours a night. I'd rather have this space, if anything. So for my back doors, I wanted to keep the optimal storage look going and everything having a place. So I did these funky shaped cabinetry back here, and up here I decided in the design process that if I put all my crystals, as soon as I open my door every day, my crystals are charging. So that was thoroughly planned out. I have all my crystals here, all the rocks I've collected on my travels, some of the things that I've bought, all of my books and my notebooks with my notes from my roads, this beautiful piece of driftwood I found on one of my hikes and my first time camping. So that was really awesome, and I decided to leave the metal on the top of the shelves so I can collect more magnets, place those all up there. And eventually I plan to have the same identical mirror image of this on that door, which then will give me an end table over here to charge my phone. I plan to put some of my cactus on there, and then same concept, open the door and they have sun every day. Now we're gonna check out my awesome must-have rooftop deck. So up here I not only have my rooftop deck, that was a must-have, but I also have my 270 watt panels, and I have my max air fan that has 7 speeds. and I situated everything up here in order to have my rooftop deck. I went with those size panels in order to have this. This is awesome though. I can fit 2 people up here comfortably. I can come up here and watch the sunset. I can come up here and work on art, read a book, or just sip on some tea. Now that I showed y'all the inside of my home, I'm gonna show you the back side. Back here, I have my propane, my XL tankless water heater, which is amazing. I had the same one in my first build and I have loved it, so I went with the same one in here. Go with what you know. No issues whatsoever. The water is hot, like literally too hot that you have to turn the cold down a little. So no complaints with the water heater. I have some additional storage here with some more notebooks and art books, some camping gear. Eventually gonna put some eyelets up here and tack some more stuff up. Then in here, show you how we do this. So in here I have some shoe storage, some big bulky sweatshirts. I have 2 12-volt AGM deep cycle batteries. I have an MPPT controller for my solar and a 3,000 watt inverter. All of these were must-haves for me. I looked at the reviews back and forth. Everything had great reviews, so these were some of the best things without going too extravagant for such a small build. I wanted a really simple solar system. And then down here is all of my art supplies. I make art on the road, so I'm really happy that I finally have all my art accessible. I can sit out here with a chair, I can draw, I can go in the van and draw. Just put what I need for the day, bring it in if it's rainy, if not, chill outside. Eventually I'll keep this up too, so I'll have a tabletop back here that I can draw on as well. And then from here, you just move 1 or 2 things. You can see I have almost a 50-gallon water tank, and I will have an overfill and a fill spot back here for it, but you can see how full it is from here as well. And then in here, another work in progress, but I have tons more of storage back here. I have a bar to hang some of my larger jackets. I still though have like my paint, my poly, and some more decorating stuff to get done in here. But when you live in your van, it's always a work in progress. So the front of the van, I am obsessed with my high roof Ford Transit. I bought it brand new. It's a 2018. It has tons of storage that it's almost made for van lifers. There's like 8 cup holders alone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cup holders. I utilize all the storage in the side of the doors quite often, as well as all these weird secret compartments that just exist throughout. I also have the storage up here, which is pretty cool. I can store my stickers, my business cards, some hats. And then back here, the other side of my divider wall that I talked about earlier is all of my stickers I've collected on the road from other travelers, as well as my broom and Swifter storage is here. I usually will keep a snack table back here, recyclable bags, and just quick, easy items that I need that I didn't want to be seen in the front view. I get 23 miles to the gallon with this baby. She does amazing on the road. My average speed is 80. It's really nice. And she's not that expensive to fill up, not in comparison to my first build. Thanks guys for checking out my home. All of my social links will be in the description below, so make sure to check that out. I make some art on the road and I sell it, and we'll have all of that up on my Patreon in the next few weeks. I have some stickers available, my YouTube account, Instagram, all that fun stuff. I write some blogs from time to time, so just make sure to check the links in the bio, and thanks for coming by.